11:38 a.m. Gate 23B, JFK Airport. Flight 447 to Los Angeles. The slap came without warning. Maya Johnson's head whipped sideways, the crack of palm against cheek silencing the first-class cabin. Her 6-year-old daughter shrieked, a sound that made 40 passengers flinch. In seat 4D, 17-year-old Jason Park's thumb hit the red circle. Live stream activated. Flight attendant Rebecca Hartwell stood over Maya, trembling with rage. "I told you, people like you don't belong here." Maya's hand moved to her face. The skin burned. Her 9-year-old son sat frozen, eyes wide with the kind of fear that scars childhood memories. 3 phones were already recording. Rebecca didn't notice. She was too busy pointing at the exit. "Security's coming. You're done." Maya lowered her hand slowly. Didn't shout. Didn't cry. Her voice came quiet, steady, lethal. "You just ended your career. Have you ever been dismissed before proving your worth? These real-life stories, these black stories, these touching stories, these life stories that should never happen. They reveal who we really are when power meets prejudice." 15 minutes earlier, 11:23 a.m., Maya had boarded through the priority lane, her children flanking her like satellites. Emma clutched a stuffed airplane mascot, the plush kind with embroidered wings, not sold in airport shops. Marcus carried his tablet and a backpack, sporting the airline's vintage logo, the one from the company's 40th anniversary. The gate agent had smiled warmly. "Have a wonderful flight, Mrs. Chen." Maya nodded, guiding Emma and Marcus down the jetway. She'd used her husband's miles for the upgrade, a small luxury for their cross-country trip. Seats 2A, 2B, 2C. First class, 3 weeks advance purchase. $12,600 total. From the galley, Rebecca Hartwell watched them approach. Her eyes narrowed as Maya settled the children. Emma by the window, Marcus in the middle, herself on the aisle. The leather carry-on Maya stowed overhead bore a discreet silver tag, smaller than a credit card. Most passengers wouldn't notice it. Rebecca didn't. She leaned toward her co-worker, voice barely above a whisper. "Another mistake upgrade." "Bet you anything." The other attendant, Maria, 23, 2 years on the job, glanced at Maya, then back at Rebecca. She said nothing. She'd learned that silence was safer. Maya pulled out coloring books, organic snack pouches, noise-canceling headphones decorated with dinosaurs. The practiced efficiency of a mother who'd made this flight many times. Rebecca approached. Tablet scanner extended like a weapon. "Ma'am, I need to verify your boarding pass." Maya handed it over, her smile polite but distant. Rebecca scanned the barcode. The screen blinked green, valid, first class, confirmed. Rebecca's mouth tightened. She scanned it again. "Same result. Is something wrong?" Maya asked. "Just protocol." Rebecca's voice had edges. She walked away, but her eyes kept drifting back to row 2. In the cockpit, First Officer Janet Morrison glanced at her clipboard, then out at the cabin through the open door. She did a double take, squinting at Maya's profile. Her hand reached for the intercom, then stopped. She turned to Captain Williams. "Sir, did you see the passenger manifest?" "Row 28, I saw it." His tone was flat. "Let's focus on pre-flight." Janet's jaw worked. She'd been flying for Sky Nation for 8 years. She knew exactly who Maya Johnson-Chen was. Everyone in management did. 5 minutes crawled by. Passengers continued boarding. A steady stream of business travelers, families, a few college students heading home. A white businessman in his 50s lowered himself into 3A, already loosening his tie. Rebecca materialized beside him instantly. "Welcome aboard, Mr. Martinez. Pre-departure beverage. We have champagne, orange juice, sparkling water. Champagne sounds perfect." Within 90 seconds, she returned with a crystal flute, condensation beading on the glass. "Enjoy, sir." David Martinez took a sip, then glanced at the family in row 2. The little girl was coloring intently. The boy had his headphones on, eyes closed. The mother sat very still, watching everything. Maya raised her hand. "Excuse me? Could my daughter get some apple juice when you have a moment?" Rebecca's gaze slid past her. "We're preparing for departure. I'll get to everyone soon." She served the woman across the aisle. Then the couple in row 1. Champagne for him, orange juice for her. Then a teenager in 4A, ginger ale, extra ice. 14 minutes passed. Emma's coloring book lay forgotten in her lap, her eyes following Rebecca's movements with the confusion children feel when adults are inexplicably unkind. When the juice finally arrived, Rebecca set it down without a word, without a smile, without eye contact. Marcus pulled off his headphones. "Mom, why doesn't she like us?" The question landed like a stone in still water. Maya felt the ripples spread through her chest. She squeezed his hand, forcing lightness into her voice. "Some people have bad days, sweetie. It's not about us, but Marcus was 9. Old enough to recognize a lie wrapped in comfort." His eyes held hers for a long moment before he looked away. Emma took a tiny sip of juice, the pleasure drained from it. Maya's hands rested in her lap, perfectly still. But her mind catalogued everything. The service gap, the tone differential, the deliberate avoidance. Patterns she'd seen 1,000 times, in 1,000 places, wearing 1,000 different faces. 35 a.m., scheduled departure in 25 minutes. The intercom crackled. "Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Williams here. We've got a brief ground hold due to taxiway congestion. About 10 minutes. Appreciate your patience." Groans rippled through the cabin. Rebecca saw opportunity. She returned to row 2, tablet brandished. Her voice carried deliberately, a performance for the cabin. "Ma'am, I need proof of payment for these seats." Heads turned. Conversations stuttered. Maya's expression remained neutral. "You've scanned my boarding pass twice. It's valid. I need the credit card you used." "No." Maya's tone stayed even, but something hardened in it. FAA regulations don't require credit card verification after ticketing. "My boarding pass is sufficient." Rebecca's face flushed. "I've been with this airline 15 years. I know when something's off. Then please explain what's off." Maya met her eyes directly, unflinching. The cabin had gone quiet. Everyone was listening now, pretending not to. Rebecca's mouth opened, closed. The words she wanted to say, that a black woman with 2 black children didn't look like they could afford $12,000 in airline tickets, couldn't be spoken aloud. Not in 2025, not on camera, not with 40 witnesses. "I'm asking you to cooperate." Maya reached for her bag. The movement was deliberate, controlled. Her carry-on shifted in the overhead bin, and David Martinez glimpsed something that made him sit forward. A leather luggage tag, small and silver, embossed with more than just the airline logo. Words too small to read from his angle, but the design itself suggested access, authority. Maya pulled out her phone instead of her wallet. "I'd like to speak with your supervisor now." "My supervisor will say the same thing." "Then let's ask him." A woman in 4C, black, mid-40s, dressed in a business suit, spoke up. "Excuse me, I'm an attorney. This is harassment. You've established her ticket is valid. Continued interrogation without cause could constitute discrimination under Title VI. Rebecca spun toward her. "Ma'am, I need you to stay out of this. I'm a witness." "I'm staying in it." David Martinez leaned forward. "I'm also a witness. You served me in 90 seconds. Her daughter waited 14 minutes for juice. I timed it. "Sir, return to your seat. I'm in my seat." The tension coiled tighter. Emma pressed against Maya's side, her small body trembling. Marcus's hands had curled into fists, his breathing shallow. Maya pulled Emma closer, kissed the top of her head. "It's okay, baby." But Emma's voice came out small, frightened. "Mommy, did I do something bad?" The question froze everyone within earshot. David Martinez's face crumpled. The attorney in 4C closed her eyes briefly. Even Maria, the young flight attendant, flinched. Maya's voice dropped to a whisper only Emma could hear. "You didn't do anything wrong. Not one single thing. You're perfect." She stood slowly, reaching for the overhead bin. "My receipt is in my bag." "I'll show you." "Then you'll leave us alone." Rebecca stepped directly into her path. "Sit down. I'm getting my documents." "You demanded proof. I'm providing it. I gave you an order." Maya moved to sidestep. Rebecca's hand shot out, shoving Maya's shoulder hard. Maya stumbled, catching the armrest to keep from falling onto Emma. The little girl shrieked. Marcus lunged forward, his 9-year-old body trying to shield his mother. "Don't touch her." The cabin erupted. Shouts overlapped. Phones rose everywhere, red recording dots multiplying. Jason Park's livestream viewer count hit 18,000, climbing fast. 2 TSA officers appeared at the cabin door, Officer Chen and Officer Rodriguez, monitoring from the jetway. They'd been watching through the gap. "Ma'am, everyone needs to calm down," Officer Chen said, stepping inside. Rebecca whirled on him, desperation flooding her features. "She attacked me." She tried to push past me and we saw what happened. Officer Rodriguez cut her off quietly. You pushed her. Rebecca's eyes went wild, darting from the officers to the witnesses to the phones recording her unraveling. She was being aggressive. She wouldn't follow instructions. I asked for my documents, Maya said. Her voice was calm, but her hand shook slightly where it rested on Emma's shoulder. She blocked me. Then she shoved me. I didn't. Rebecca's breath came fast now, panic replacing anger. David Martinez stood, phone extended. I recorded the whole thing. Clear video. She shoved this woman for no reason. The attorney and 4C, I can testify to the same. Unprovoked assault, Rebecca looked around wildly. The trap she'd built was closing. Every face in first class stared back at her with varying degrees of disgust, pity, or cold satisfaction. The phones, the witnesses, the viral live stream, now at 23,000 viewers, documenting her career's ending in real time. She snapped. Her hand came up and cracked across Maya's face before anyone could move. The sound echoed like a starter pistol. Emma's scream pierced everything. Marcus's face crumpled, tears spilling instantly. Officer Chen lunged forward. 40 passengers gasped in perfect, horrified unison. Maya stood very still. Her hand rose slowly to her cheek. The skin burned, already blooming red. She didn't cry, didn't yell. She looked at Rebecca with the kind of cold fury that destroys lives methodically, legally, permanently. You just ended your career. 38 M, 18 minutes to scheduled departure. Officer Chen reached Maya first, his body forming a barrier between her and Rebecca. Ma'am, hands where I can see them. Rebecca's hand hung frozen mid-air, trembling. Her breathing came fast, panicked. She was attacking. We watched the whole thing. Officer Rodriguez moved to Rebecca's other side. You struck first. Maya knelt, wrapping Emma and Marcus into her arms. Emma's sobs came in gasping hiccups. Marcus had gone rigid, not crying, not speaking, just staring at his mother's reddening cheek with the blank expression trauma carves into children's faces. Breathe with me. Babies. Maya's voice stayed even, but her hands shook against their small backs. Inside her chest, rage coiled tight as a fist. 15 years of boardrooms had taught her this. Control was currency. Anger spent too soon bought nothing. In seat 4D, Jason Park's livestream counter spun upward. 32,000. 40,000. Comments flooded past. Arrest her now, this is sick, who is that woman? The hashtag #TheFlight447 started trending in New York within 90 seconds. Officer Chen crouched to Maya's eye level. Ma'am, are you injured? Maya touched her cheek gingerly. The handprint blazed red-purple. Physically, I'm fine. She looked at Emma, whose wide eyes were fixed on the mark. My children aren't. Do you want to press charges? Maya's jaw worked. The question had weight. Criminal charges meant police reports, court dates, dragging Emma and Marcus through testimony. But letting it slide meant nothing would change. I need to think about it, she said quietly. Right now I want to speak with whoever's in charge here. Rebecca's voice cracked. It was an accident, I didn't mean. Your hand accidentally formed a fist and accidentally struck her face. David Martinez stood, holding up his phone. Because I've got HD video that shows intention. Officer Rodriguez pulled out a card. Sir, please email that footage to this address. Rebecca lunged forward. You can't, that's not... Step back. Officer Chen's hand moved to his belt. Final warning. The cabin door burst open. Tom Barker, lead flight attendant, took 3 steps inside before the scene registered. Officers, crying children, phones everywhere. A woman with a handprint blooming on her face. Jesus Christ, Rebecca, she grabbed his arm. Tom, she attacked me first. Ask anyone. We have 4 videos. Officer Chen held up his phone. All 4 show you hitting her. Want to see? Tom pulled his arm free. He looked at Maya, at the children clinging to her, at the mark on her face, and something in his expression shifted. Not quite sympathy, more like the recognition that his Friday afternoon had become a career-defining nightmare. He scanned Maya's boarding pass with shaking hands. The tablet screen showed what Rebecca had seen 3 times. Valid, first class, $12,600, purchased October 14th. His eyes caught something in the booking details. Frequent flyer number, loyalty tier. His face went pale. Ma'am, I apologize profoundly for this incident. Apologize. Maya stood slowly, Emma still attached to her side. Your employee questioned my ticket 3 times. Made my 6-year-old wait 14 minutes for juice while serving white passengers in 90 seconds. Shoved me, struck me. And you're apologizing? Tom's mouth opened and closed. The truth sat between them, obvious, ugly, unspeakable in a cabin full of witnesses. I'll need to file a report. You need to fire her. Ma'am, there's a union process. She committed assault. On camera, what process? 11:41 a.m., Karen Mills pushed through the cabin door. The gate agent was professional, efficient, trained for passenger incidents. But this officer's traumatized children viral video in progress was beyond her script. Tom, we need resolution now. We're losing the slot. Tom's face said everything. Karen's stomach dropped. What happened? Passenger assault. Tom's voice was hollow. Rebecca struck a passenger. Karen's professional mask locked into place. She approached Maya, smile firmly attached. Ma'am, we're terribly sorry. We can rebook you on the 3 p.m. flight, first class, full refund, plus a $1,000 credit. You want me to leave? Maya's voice went quiet. Dangerous. We want to make this right. By removing the victim. The attorney in 4C stood. That's your crisis management. Reward the assailant. Relocate the injured party. Karen's smile fractured. We're trying to accommodate everyone. You're trying to hide a PR disaster, David Martinez said flatly. Big difference. Tom's phone buzzed. He glanced at the screen. A text from the cockpit. 2A is Maya Chen, CEO's wife. Confirm immediately. His hands started trembling so violently he nearly dropped the phone, Karen noticed. Tom, what's wrong? He couldn't answer. He was staring at Maya like a man watching a firing squad load bullets. Rebecca, desperate, pushed between them. I'll apologize. I'll take any punishment except termination. I have 2 kids. If I lose this job, Maya looked at her directly for the first time since the slap. You have children? 12 and 14. They depend on me. My daughter is 6. Maya's voice cracked slightly, the first real emotion breaking through. 60 seconds ago she asked me if being brown is wrong. Because you made her feel like she doesn't belong. What do I tell her? Rebecca's face crumpled. I didn't mean it that way. How did you mean it? Explain it to me. Explain it to them. Maya gestured to the cabin. Explain it to 70,000 people watching live. Silence. Karen stepped forward. Ma'am, threatening an employee is... I haven't threatened anyone. Maya pulled out her phone. Her hands were steadier now. Decision made. I'm calling someone who can actually handle this. She scrolled through contacts. Hit dial. Voicemail. Hi, you've reached Michael Chen, CEO of SkyNation Airlines. I'm unavailable. Rebecca let out a sharp, disbelieving laugh. You're calling the CEO? That's your plan? Karen's expression mixed pity with exasperation. Ma'am, the CEO doesn't handle individual complaints. You'll need to file through our customer service. Maya hung up. Her face showed nothing. Not embarrassment, not anger, nothing. She dialed again. Tom's phone buzzed. Did you confirm it's Maya? Why haven't you responded? He started typing a response. His fingers wouldn't cooperate. Maya's second call connected. Hey, love, just boarding. Everything okay? A man's voice, warm and concerned. Rebecca rolled her eyes. Oh, here we go. Calling the husband. That'll really show us. Karen shot her a look. Shut up. Maya's voice stayed controlled, but something underneath it made the hair on Tom's neck stand up. Michael, one of your employees, just slapped me. In front of Emma and Marcus. 3 seconds of absolute silence on the other end. When the voice returned, it had gone cold. Are they hurt? They watched their mother get assaulted. So yes, where are you? Flight 447, Gate 23B. I need you to call the lead flight attendant, Tom Barker. Right now. Stay on the line. Call him first. I'll wait. She lowered the phone but kept the connection open. 30 seconds passed. Tom's phone remained silent. Rebecca's confidence started returning. See, even your husband can't... Tom's phone exploded with sound. Not a call. A text alert. Then another. Then a third. Then incoming call Chen Michael. CEO Mobile. Tom nearly dropped the phone answering. Mr. Chen, sir, yes. She's right here. I didn't realize yes immediately. I understand. His face went from pale to grey to something approaching green. He lowered the phone. When his eyes found Maya's, everyone in the cabin saw the exact moment he understood. Rebecca hadn't just hit a passenger. She'd struck the woman who sat on the board that determined his future employment, Mrs. Chen. His voice barely functioned. Christ, I am so deeply sorry. Rebecca frowned. Mrs. Chen? Who? Tom's voice came out dead, defeated. Maya Johnson-Chen, board director, chief diversity officer, and the CEO's wife. The silence was total. Even the ventilation system seemed to stop. Rebecca stumbled backward, catching herself on a seat back. But she's black. Maya supplied the word quietly. Michael Chen is Chinese-American. I'm black. And you just assaulted a board member on camera, in front of federal officers with 74,000 people watching live. Rebecca's legs gave out. She sat down hard in the aisle. Karen's professional mask shattered completely. Oh my God. Officer Rodriguez cleared his throat. So we're definitely arresting her now, right? Maya's phone was still connected. Michael's voice came through, sharp and clear enough for everyone nearby to hear. Tom, clear the aircraft. Everyone off. Full refunds. I'm calling legal and PR. This is a board-level incident now. Tom nodded robotically. Yes, sir. Right away. He moved to the intercom. Ladies and gentlemen, we need everyone to deplane immediately. You'll all receive full refunds plus compensation for this delay. Passengers rose, many still recording. David Martinez paused at Maya's row. I'm sending my video to every news outlet in New York. What she did deserves consequences. Thank you, Maya said quietly. The attorney in 4C handed over a business card. Free witness statement. Call me. As the cabin emptied, Jason Park ended his live stream. Final count, 81,000 viewers. The 10-second clip of the slap had already been downloaded and reposted 300 times. Rebecca sat in the aisle, officers standing over her, watching her career burn. Maya remained in her seat, Emma on her lap, Marcus pressed tight to her side. She held her children and let the board director in her take. Control, Tom, Karen, we need to talk about what happens. Next, the reckoning had begun. The empty cabin felt larger than it should. Maya sat in 2A, alone for the first time since boarding. Emma and Marcus had been escorted to the VIP lounge 10 minutes earlier, standard protocol for incidents involving minors. Emma had wrapped her arms around Maya's neck, whispering, "Don't leave me, Mommy." Marcus had gone silently, his 9-year-old face carrying the weight of broken trust. Maya had promised she'd be there soon. She'd lied. This would take time. Now 7 people remained. Maya, Officers Chen and Rodriguez by the galley, Tom Barker against the bulkhead looking sick, Karen Mills by the exit, Rebecca in 4A, head in her hands, and the silence between them. Maya pulled out her tablet, executive-issued biometric login. The screen glowed to life. Tom watched her fingers move across glass. Mrs. Chen, I had no idea Rebecca had previous... Stop. Maya didn't look up. I don't care what you didn't know. I care what you should have known. She turned the tablet outward. Rebecca's employee file filled the screen. Hartwell. Rebecca M. Hire date. May 17, 2010, years of service, 15.4 commendations. 4 customer complaints. 11 Rebecca's head snapped up. That's wrong. I only had 3, maybe 4, so 11. Maya's voice cut clean. Want me to read them? No one spoke. Maya's eyes dropped to the screen. When she began reading, her voice carried the clinical precision of someone who'd memorized these words months ago. March 2022. Black male passenger, business class, legitimate ticket. Quote, F.A. Hartwell asked if I was in the right section 3 times. I felt humiliated. Resolution, verbal reminder about tone, she swiped. November 2023, Muslim woman wearing hijab. Quote, F.A. Hartwell asked if I felt safe flying like that. This was Islamophobic. Resolution unsubstantiated. Sensitivity video assigned. Another swipe. April 2024, black woman, age 41. F.A. switched her meal to accommodate a white passenger's late request. Told passenger, it's just food. Resolution, insufficient evidence. Maya looked up. Her throat felt tight. Reading these, each one a person dismissed, ignored, told their pain didn't matter, made her chest ache with familiar fury. 11 people tried to tell you there was a problem. Nobody listened. Tom's voice came out strangled. HR reviewed those cases according to protocol. Your protocol protected liability over passengers. Maya's hands trembled slightly. She gripped the tablet tighter. Firing costs money. Complaints? Those are free to ignore. She swiped to a new file. Her fingers hesitated over the screen for just a moment. A crack in her armor so brief, only someone watching closely would catch it. Q 2025. Discrimination audit, board confidential. Data appeared. 47 bias complaints, 2024. 89%. Dismissed as misunderstandings, 2.8 matters in quiet settlements, 0 terminations for discrimination, 5 years. I wrote this report 6 weeks ago, Maya said quietly. I begged the board to vote for 0 tolerance. Do you know what they said? Karen found her voice. What? That I was being too aggressive, too emotional, that I should trust the process. Maya's laugh was bitter. Then they voted for my policy anyway. 9-2. Takes effect Monday. Rebecca looked up, mascara streaking her face. So I'm being fired because of new rules that aren't even... You're being fired because you committed assault. Maya pulled up another document. Union contract. Section 12.44b. Physical violence voids employment protections. I didn't write that. Your union did. She set the tablet down, pressed her fingers to her temples. The headache that had been building since the slap throbbed behind her eyes. Can I tell you what scares me most about today? Her voice dropped. It's not that you hit me. It's that if I was anyone else, any other black woman without board access, without a CEO husband, without a law degree, you'd face 0 consequences. That passenger in March 2022, November 2023, April 2024, they complained. The system swallowed their voices whole. Tom opened his mouth, closed it. Maya picked up the tablet again, pulled up her own bio. Her hands were steadier now. Maya Johnson-Chen, Charity MBA, Harvard Law 12, Wharton MBA 14, former FAA, Legal Counsel 2015 to 2020. Current, Board Director and Chief Diversity Officer, Specialization, Aviation Discrimination Law, Title VI Enforcement. Rebecca stared. You're a lawyer? I spent 5 years at the FAA prosecuting discrimination cases. I know every regulation, every precedent, every liability exposure point. Maya pulled up a spreadsheet she'd created months ago, just in case. Always prepared. Always 3 moves ahead. Incident cost analysis. Immediate, refunds, compensation, 187K legal defense, 50K, 125K PR crisis, 75K severance, 45K. Total, 357K, 432K long-term. Risk, class action exposure, 50 immediate pause federal. Investigation, consent decree stock. Impact, 4.1% drop, 41 million market cap. Tom stared at the EU numbers like they were a death sentence. That's the business case, Maya said. Here's the human one. She pulled out her phone, swiped to photos, turned it so they could see. Emma at breakfast this morning, syrup on her chin, laughing. Marcus with his backpack ready for school yesterday. My daughter asked if being brown is wrong. My son hasn't spoken since you hit me. Her voice cracked. Just slightly. Just enough to show the mother beneath the board director. That's what you did today. Rebecca's sobs filled the cabin. I have kids too, 12 and 14. If I lose this job, they'll learn their mother faced consequences. Maya's voice hardened again. My kids are learning the world can hurt you for existing. Which lesson is harder? Officer Chen cleared his throat. Ma'am, about pressing charges. If Sky Nation terminates Rebecca, implements the reforms we already voted on, and shows real accountability, I won't file criminal charges. Maya stood, gathering her things. But if they try to minimize this, offer me a settlement to stay quiet or protect her because firing is uncomfortable, I'll make this the test case that rewrites aviation discrimination law. She walked to the exit, then paused, turned back. Tom, I want the names of those 11 passengers who complained about Rebecca. I'm going to apologize personally that we didn't listen. And I'm compensating them. Travel credits, written apologies, and the knowledge their complaints mattered. That's generous, Karen said quietly. It's overdue. Maya's eyes swept the cabin one final time. You have 30 minutes to confirm Rebecca's termination, Karen's suspension for false accusations, and Tom's formal reprimand for inadequate response. If I don't receive written confirmation, I'll assume Sky Nation values protecting employees over passengers. Mrs. Chen, Tom started. 30 minutes. The door closed behind her with a soft, final sound. Rebecca collapsed forward, forehead against the seat back in front of her. I'm so sorry. God, I'm so sorry. Tom looked at his phone. At Karen, at the officers who'd witnessed everything. We're fucked, Karen whispered. We really are, Tom agreed. Officer Rodriguez checked his watch. 29 minutes. Tom started dialing. 47 p.m. VIP Lounge, Terminal 4. The children's area smelled like apple juice and new carpet. Emma sat hunched over a coloring book, pressing so hard the black crayon snapped. Marcus stared at the wall-mounted TV, news coverage muted, captions scrolling. Viral video shows flight attendant striking passenger Maya knelt between them, her knees protesting against the floor. Hey, my loves. Emma crashed into her arms, nearly toppling them both. Marcus turned his head slowly, mechanically, like rust had formed in his neck. Is she in jail? His voice carried no emotion. Just facts. Just questions, not yet. Maya pulled him close. But she's being fired. She won't work on planes anymore. Good. The word came out flat. Final. Maya's chest tightened. Her 9-year-old shouldn't sound like that. Hollowed out, hardened. She touched his face. Baby, I know today was scary. Why didn't you hit her back? The question stopped her breath. Emma pulled away slightly, watching, waiting for the answer that would teach them how to survive in a world that hurt people like them. Because, Maya said carefully, hitting back makes us like her. We're better. Marcus's eyes held hers. Old eyes, tired eyes. Being better doesn't stop people from hitting you. Maya had no answer for that. Not one a 9-year-old could carry. Her phone buzzed. Michael's text, emergency board call. 15 minutes. Can you join? She typed back, yes. The lounge supervisor, Patricia, 50s, kind eyes, the type who'd raised her own children, approached quietly. Mrs. Chen, we have a private conference room. Full tech setup. I can stay with them if they come with me. Maya stood, taking both small hands in hers. I need them close. 2 p.m. Executive conference room. The screen divided into 11 faces. Board members in home offices, corporate headquarters, one poolside in what looked like Hawaii. Michael's square appeared center, neutral expression, CEO mask firmly in place. He'd landed in San Francisco 20 minutes ago. Maya had settled Emma and Marcus in the adjacent lounge, visible through glass. Close enough to see, far enough to protect. Emma was coloring again, softer strokes now. Marcus still stared at nothing. Michael spoke first. Maya, kids okay? Ask me in a month. Her voice came out harder than intended. Patricia Alvarez, CFO, pulled up a dashboard. Preliminary damage assessment. 8 million combined video views. Stock down 4.1% in 140 minutes. Analyst calls coming in. They want to know if we're covering this up or confronting it. And, someone asked, Patricia's next slide showed 2 scenarios. Pathy, a terminate punts reform cost $432K. Immediate recovery 1014. Days customer trust, plus 18%, Black Travelers brand. Value accountability leader path B, investigate plus. Settle. Quietly cost. 500K 2 decline, sustained 8 to 12%, 12-18 months, customer. Trust, 28%. 340 meter revenue risk brand value. Cover up. Associated financially, Patricia said. Path A is obvious. James Wu, COO, shifted in his frame. Path A also means terminating someone without full union investigation. That's legally risky. She committed battery on federal property. Maya's tablet showed the union contract. Section 12.4b, violence voids protections. Legal already confirmed. The optics of firing someone hours after your personal incident. The optics of protecting someone who assaulted a board member in front of 80,000 witnesses. Maya's voice dropped to ice. Pick your optics carefully, James. Robert Kim, independent director, cleared his throat. Maya, no one questions Rebecca should be terminated. We're concerned you're deciding this while emotionally compromised. Compromised? Maya's laugh was sharp as broken glass. I've been compromised for 3 years, watching complaint after complaint get buried. Today I'm equipped. There's a difference. She pulled up the discrimination audit. The one they'd seen 6 weeks ago, now updated. Before Flight 447, 347 complaints, 2024, 89%. Dismissed 0 terminations after flight, 447.8 M+. Video views national media coverage, 91%. Public support for victims, 73%. Threatened boycott if no action. This stopped being about me when it went viral, Maya said. This is about whether Sky Nation protects passengers or enables bias. Vote. Michael had stayed silent. Now, I'm recusing myself. Conflict of interest. But I'll say this. We passed zero tolerance 6 weeks ago. Either we meant it or we lied. Today we find out which. Sarah Chen, HR executive, spoke up. I've reviewed Rebecca's file. 11 complaints over 15 years, each one dismissed with minimal action. The pattern is undeniable, and our failure is inexcusable. We should have terminated her 5 years ago. So we vote. Robert asked. Motion, Michael said. Terminate Rebecca Hartwell for cause, effective immediately. Suspend Karen Mills 30 days without pay. Formal reprimand for Tom Barker. All in favor. Hands rose across the grid. Maya counted. 10 yes. Michael abstained. 1 square stayed empty. James Wu, hands in lap. James? Michael's voice carried warning. I'm abstaining. This feels reactionary. Noted. Motion carries 10-0-1. Maya exhaled. The breath she'd been holding for 3 years. Patricia continued. We also need to accelerate policy implementation. Zero tolerance was scheduled Monday. I move we activate today, retroactive to this incident. Second, Sarah said, the vote, 11 yes. Unanimous this time. Maya felt the boulder she'd been pushing finally crest the hill. Not relief, not victory, just bone-deep exhaustion. One more thing, she said. The 11 passengers who complained about Rebecca. I want them found, apologized to, compensated. I want their complaints reopened by the external firm we're hiring. And I want quarterly public transparency reports. James's face soured. Public reports mean admitting we failed. Public reports mean we're done hiding. Maya's eyes burned. We've operated in darkness for 5 years. Time for light. Michael looked at her through the screen. His CEO mask slipped slightly. Maya, you're taking family leave. 2 weeks now, she started to argue. That's not a request, he said quietly. It's an order from your husband, who watched his wife get assaulted and his kids get traumatized. Take them home. Process this. Let us handle implementation. Maya looked through the glass. Marcus had finally fallen asleep, head on the table. Emma was coloring a rainbow, soft, gentle strokes that made Maya's throat tighten. Okay, she whispered. 2 weeks. Press statement at 3 p.m., Patricia said. We'll send draft for approval. The board logged off. Michael stayed. When they were alone, his professional face shattered. Are you really okay? Maya's composure cracked. She hit me in front of our babies. Emma asked if being brown is wrong. How do I undo that? You just did. You showed them fighting back works. That power answers to justice. But what if I'd been anyone else? What if I didn't have this access? His silence was answer enough. That's the problem you've been trying to fix, he finally said. Come home. I'll have a car at SFO. The screen went dark. Maya sat alone in the too quiet room. The adrenaline that had carried her through 90 minutes drained away. Her hands started shaking. Then her arms. Then her whole body. She'd won. Changed policy. Fired the person who hurt her. Protected future passengers. But through the glass she could see Emma's rainbow. And she knew, really knew, that board votes and termination letters couldn't erase the question that would follow her daughter for years. Am I bad because I'm brown? That question didn't have a corporate solution. Maya stood on unsteady legs and went to collect her children. Outside, the world kept turning. Inside, 3 people tried to figure out how to heal. 17 p.m. The press release went live. No corporate softening. No euphemisms. Just facts that made stockholders nervous and passengers exhale. Today, a Sky Nation employee assaulted a passenger. The employee has been terminated. A second employee who supported false accusations, suspended 30 days. A supervisor who responded inadequately, formally reprimanded. It listed the passenger's name. Her title. And then, but this response isn't because of who she is. It's because of what happened. 5 reforms detailed. AI monitoring. Independent review. Executive accountability. Passenger rights. Transparency reports, the final line. We failed 11 passengers who complained about this employee over 15 years. We're contacting each one to apologize. We're done protecting bias. Social media shifted within an hour. Boycott Sky Nation became Accountability Works, stock stabilized by evening. 4:45 p.m. JFK Security Office. Rebecca Hartwell's hands shook, signing the termination papers. 2 weeks severance. Healthcare through November. Unemployment eligible. Industry blacklist. Informal but permanent. She'd called her husband from a bathroom stall. 10 seconds of silence. Then how could you be so stupid? HR Director Linda Morrison sat across from her. Your union confirmed they won't contest. Section 12.4b, do you understand? Rebecca nodded. Her throat was too tight for words. For what it's worth, Linda said, we should have terminated you years ago. We enabled your behavior. That's on us too. Rebecca looked up, surprised. Doesn't excuse what you did, Linda continued, but we share responsibility for making it possible. She slid a card across. Bias training starts Monday. 40 hours. Required for unemployment. Take it seriously. Rebecca pocketed the card. Stood. Left through the service exit where photographers waited. By morning, her face was everywhere. 3 months later, December 2025. The AI system flagged its 63rd incident. Flight 288, Miami to Boston. Flight attendant served business class passengers champagne. White passengers averaged 4.2 minutes wait time. Passengers of color, 14.7 minutes. The system alerted. Investigation launched within 2 hours. Result, unconscious bias confirmed. Attendant, mandatory retraining, 6-month probation, average complaint resolution time 6 days. Down from 45 independent review, had reopened the 347 old complaints. 41 were substantiated after proper investigation. 12 employees disciplined retroactively. 1.2 in compensation, paid to passengers the system had failed. Customer trust among black travelers, up 22%. Employee retention, up 18%. Clear rules created confidence. Karen Mills was promoted to senior gate supervisor after her suspension. She now reviewed every escalation personally. Redemption was possible, but only after accountability. Rebecca found work in retail, 60% pay cut. 2 years later, she'd begin speaking at workshops. I was the problem. Here's what I learned. Mixed reception. Some forgiveness. Many too little, too late. Maya's home, Westchester. Evening 3 months after Flight 447, Emma finally slept without nightmares. Marcus still needed his door cracked open. Couldn't handle darkness anymore, but he was talking again. Maya reviewed the quarterly transparency report before publication. Every complaint listed, every resolution detailed, every failure admitted. We're really publishing this, Michael said. Every mistake public. Transparency builds trust. Maya closed the tablet. The alternative is darkness. We tried that for 5 years. Upstairs, Emma called out. Mommy! Maya climbed the stairs, found Emma sitting up clutching her stuffed airplane. Bad dream? No, good dream, Emma smiled slightly. I was flying and nobody was mean. Maya's chest ached. She slid into bed beside her daughter. That's how it should be. Did it work? What you did? Yeah, baby. It worked. Emma nestled close. Good, because you were really brave. Maya held her daughter and thought about the 11 passengers who'd been brave first, who'd complained knowing nothing would change, who'd faced bias without power, without protection, without anyone listening. The system had failed them, but maybe it would fail fewer people now. 3 months wasn't justice, but it was a start, and in the morning, Maya would continue the work of turning that start into something permanent. 1 year later, October 2026. Maya's kitchen. Emma set the table for dinner. 7 years old now, confident in ways that still surprised Maya. Marcus helped, moving with the careful precision of a 10-year-old who'd learned the world required vigilance. Mom, can I tell you something? Emma asked. Maya turned from the stove. Always. A girl at school said I talk funny, because I'm black. Emma's face was serious, not sad. I told her my skin is perfect and she's being ignorant. Then I reported her to the teacher. Maya's throat tightened, not with pain this time, with something close to pride. Did the teacher listen? Yeah, the girl had to apologize, and we had a whole class talk about it. Emma shrugged. It was fine, it was fine. Not perfect, not healed, but fine. Emma had learned she could report unfairness and be heard. That was what Flight 447 had bought them. Marcus looked up from folding napkins. My teacher showed us a video today about standing up when you see something wrong. It had your story in it, Mom. Maya sat down. How did that feel? Weird, but also, I don't know. Cool? Like you did something that matters. We all did something that matters, Maya corrected. Me, the passengers who filmed, Mr. Martinez who spoke up, the teenager who live-streamed. We all chose to witness instead of look away. That's the real story. This life story, this real-life story that began with a slap, isn't rare. It's happening right now in airports, stores, schools, workplaces. The only difference is whether someone documents it, reports it, refuses to let it disappear. Jason Park, the 17-year-old who hit Go Live, is at Columbia now studying journalism. His livestream had 8 million views, became evidence, changed policy. He didn't have power. He had a phone and the reflex to record. David Martinez, the businessman who said, "I saw everything" at 5 words that mattered, teaches ethics now. He tells his students, your 5 words might be someone else's evidence. Speak them. The attorney who offered her card, she joined Maya's nonprofit. They've helped 17 passengers file discrimination complaints with airlines, hotels, and rental car companies this year alone. 14 complaints substantiated. 12 resulted in employee discipline, 3 in policy changes. These are the touching stories most people never hear, the ones where ordinary people with no special access still chose action over silence. What you actually have, not board seats, not law degrees, not CEO spouses. You have your phone. Document discrimination when you see it. Legal in public spaces. Jason's video became evidence. You have your voice. I saw what happened changes outcomes. 5 words. Use them. You have complaint systems, file reports, even if you think nothing will happen. Maya's reforms came because 11 people before her filed complaints that created patterns. Your complaint might be number 6 of 11. You have your wallet. Maya's Airline saw 41% increase in black travelers after demonstrating accountability. Companies notice revenue shifts. You have your story, share it. Not for sympathy, for documentation. Patterns matter. The question Emma doesn't ask anymore, am I bad because I'm brown, became, what can I do when someone's being unfair? That shift, from shame to agency, is what these black stories give us. Not comfort, not resolution, but proof that speaking up can work. Will it always work? No. Will it be fair? No. Will it be easy? Never. But silence guarantees nothing changes. So here's what I'm asking. Have you witnessed discrimination in stores, on planes, at work, in schools? Comment below. Your story matters. Documentation creates patterns. Patterns force change. Have you stayed silent when you should have spoken? It happens. But next time, speak. 5 words. I saw what happened. That's all. Share this video. Not because it's heartwarming. Because it's a blueprint. Document, report, witness, demand accountability. Subscribe if you believe these stories need telling. Because Maya's story isn't unique. Here's just the one that got filmed. Final truth. 1 year after Flight 447, Rebecca still can't work in aviation. Karen supervises with accountability now. Tom trains new staff on bias recognition. The AI system has flagged 89 incidents. 8 led to terminations, 31 to retraining. Is it perfect? No. Is it better? Measurably. And Emma sets the table without asking if she's bad. Marcus reports unfairness because he learned it works sometimes. Maya keeps fighting because 3 minutes of viral video bought years of policy change. That's not a miracle. That's what happens when people refuse to let discrimination become routine. Your turn. What will you refuse to let become routine? Document it, report it, share it, change it, one story at a time.